Hello and welcome. We are playing Zeitz Machz, the second episode. Let's see how things go for the girls, or three of them, to be fair. Even for one of them is in the bunker, and we supposedly kidnapped her, but we don't remember that. I mean, there is a lot of question marks here, okay? Let's find out what's gonna happen today. I can hear some noises downstairs. Must be siren. Ow! I slowly and very loudly raise my body. Sunlight shines across the room. It's hard to make out the sun. It looks gloomy and obnoxious. I have confidence in my eyes, so that must have to do with how the air has become contaminated. Even though it probably was very contaminated beforehand as well, but it's become even more. Aside from the noise coming from below, I can hear some static noises from afar. Is it like... Yeah. No point in dwelling on all of that now, I guess. The coincidence is crazy. Inside the closet there is a variety set of female clothing. Her size is about the same as mine, so sorry to the owner. Well, she's probably dead anyway. I hurry down the stairs to meet up with Siren after finishing up. Is this just me, or does she look even more serious than before? Speaking of which... Where did you wake up, Ice? This place sounds more unbelievable than your story, Siren, but I woke up in a house. Its structure suggests that it was a bunker. On top of that, I was with a girl named Alice. That's... that blondie! Siren raised her voice. We must investigate the bunker, Ice. It may provide us some clues. It's strange how Siren got so worked up over my story. I mean, there is nothing more to see there, but if you insist, then why not? Better than sitting here with nothing to do. As Siren suggested, I lead her to the bunker. To my surprise, the lid has been lifted. Someone must have entered the bunker. I remember putting the lid back after Alice and I opened it. Suddenly, Siren makes a ruckus. Oi, you seriously don't remember anything, guys? This is your home! Cat got my tongue. Like I've been saying, the only one I know who lives in a bunker is you, Ice. My heart races fast and a sense of rumination runs through my veins. My head is increasingly becoming pressured with thoughts. This place is indeed familiar to me, but somehow I also feel that I do not belong here at all. Let's head inside. Siren hurriedly enters the bunker. After regain consciousness, I follow her. You are such a minimalist, Ice. Besides supplies, there is nothing else here. Not even a piece of furniture. Guess you are serious about this whole apocalypse thing, huh? I have an even worse feeling about this bunker than before. Something is wrong with it. Alice? Ice? I have to find Alice. Even I can understand why I am so motivated. An inner voice tells me that I must head to the room where we first woke up immediately. Why? Oh dear. The room greets us with a bloody scene. I was too late. We see Alice's corpse emanating a foul stench. What? Her eyes are full of tears. As a last attempt I tried to move Alice's body, it is no use. I feel no life coming from her. It was all my fault. Things would have been different if I had decided to stay with her back then. My memory returns, but it is too late. What? Alice was my dearest childhood friend. She died in a car accident. Wait, what? Ever since then, I was grieved over her death. I want to see her again. It's just unfair. We are made for each other. I dedicated my life to research and finally invented a time travel machine. What? Time is fragile and unpredictable. A trivial change can trigger the butterfly effect and cause a mess. Ignorant of these risks, I still wanted to bring... I guess that maybe explains why she didn't remember everything. Ignorant of these risks, I still want to bring Alice back to life. I succeeded. Alice didn't die that day and continued to live. I always tried to keep my eyes on her. I wanted to be by her side, but was scared that my involvement in Alice's life may bring back the tragedy. When in the future the apocalypse happened, I decided to travel back in time to protect Alice. I used all the resources available and even brought some stuff from my timeline to set up this bunker. Nice. I went against everyone and everything just to save Alice. I was too madly in love with her that nothing else would mattered to me. Okay. You know what? I respect it. I would do the same thing. If I knew how to make a travel machine. Time travel. I snuck into a university under a fake identity, and when the time was right, I kidnapped her. I locked the bunker tightly to secure Alice. The impact was too big and the whole bunker was shaken. Then I felt tired all of a sudden, and collapsed right under Alice. Never have I felt this hopeless before. Everything is fading away in an instant. Huh. Dead people cannot come back to come back. What's gone will be forever gone. As a scientist, these words are a mere cures rather than facts to me. Yeah, I can see that. All of my efforts were in vain. In the end, I still let Alice die. Is there nothing I can do? No! There is something I can do! The time machine! If I remember correctly, it's still somewhere in the house. I can jump back in time and save Alice. Where are you going, guys? Calm down! Everybody moves on its own. I hid the machine behind the closet. The password was the same as the one on the door. I don't remember what was the password to the door. Now everything makes sense. But me before this incident must have predicted I'd fail to save Alice this time, so I left the password on the phone. Sometimes I amaze myself with my intelligence. I wish I could say the same. Hey, what's this wacky looking machine? Oh, I forgot about Siren. I was so caught up with how to save Alice. Siren, believe it or not, this is a time machine! Don't tell me your plan. Yes! I interrupt Siren before she could end her sentence. Then why did you go back in time to stop the incident from happening? It doesn't make any sense to me! Now that Siren mentions it, Siren? I have to admit that my time machine is not perfect. The truth be told, it's not very functional. It can only send us back in time by interfering with the time flow and editing our data so that we exist in that timeline. Other than that, nothing is guaranteed. The probability of success is lower than winning a lottery. Oh boy. And there are so many risks. One such example is that I lost my memory. I won't go over the details of the machine's mechanisms, as it will take a lot of time. All I can tell you is that it's impossible to prevent the incident. Okay, I get the gist. I'll go with you, Ice. A bold request. Hey, you sure? It's the only way to get out of this situation, Ice. If I can choose, I'll be... Oh, it's her saying that, okay. It's the only way to get out of this situation. Ice, if I can choose, I'll believe in you again. I paid the price for not believing you the first time. Thank you. I cannot leave Siren here by herself. After all, I've had enough of being alone and letting others be left alone. But I must tell you, the price to pay for tampering with time is that your existence will be erased. As we edit our data into another time flow, this alone corrupts our... Sorry, there is a mosquito again. Corrupts our format, meaning that we are incompatible. Everyone can see and perceive us, but their memories about us won't last long. There may be other survivors out there in this world. Siren, if you stay in this time flow, you and the others can rebel this war. I've made my decision, Ice. I too was naive, but I had to wake up to smell the coffee. I tried to tamper with the static indicator machine, but there is no signal coming from anywhere. At least I can say that there is no one besides us in this area. Even if there are survivors in other countries, I'll die before they can find me. Take a look around us, Ice. Nothing but destroyed buildings and contaminated sea. This, you know what? This VN right now makes me want to play like Mad Max or Metro. Something like that. I have no hope left here, Ice. The sole reason I want to go with you is that I regret not believing you before. I know, for sure, that if I had placed my trust in you back then, things would have turned out differently. She is my girl, by the way. Lab coat, let's go. I don't understand why you're so obsessed with the blondie, but I can feel that you have nothing but good intentions for her. I can't stand the gruesome way she left us, so I want to help her too. But then again, I mean, you say you move to the different timeline, you are not there, and so on. So you don't necessarily bring her back or anything like that. Just saying. It's just my gut feeling, but maybe saving Alice is the key in this situation. Alice is the key. Siren makes her way towards me to help me operate the time machine. Nothing makes sense to me, but my muscle memory is still intact. It's weird that even though I can't understand the logic behind it, I can still manage to operate it. I grab Siren's hand firmly. We nod and pray to the god of scientists. I can feel Siren's warmth just before we're about to make the time leap. Okay, I'm totally saving over here. Next! Wait, do we have any... No, we didn't. The little princess cheerfully said, "Let's get married! I want to be with you for eternity!" The young blonde girl may not be fully capable of understanding the meaning of her words, but her intentions are pure. This made the poor girl jump in happiness. For her, receiving love is kind of luxury. Yes. So, you're finally awake. My head still hurts. I'm on the verge of bursting into tears the moment I see Alice again. It seems that I've retained memory from the previous timeline. I'm in luck! Siren must have landed in that house I first saw her in. Hopefully. There's no time to lose here. I must come up with a plan for Alice. I'm sorry for suddenly snatching you. Look, the outside world has been destroyed. Are you crazy or something? First you kidnapped me and now you're saying all this nonsense. I've had enough of this. I pushed the wrong button. Alice cracks up and walks straight towards the door. If it was ignorant of me to persuade Alice like this, knowing how stubborn she is. Seeing is believing then. We'll receive the code to unlock the door in a second. Wait, how did you receive it? Who sent it? This is my house, Alice, a bunker to protect us from the harm. The recent world war has almost completely destroyed this planet. It's kind of... I mean, I would say it would probably happen if there was a world war, to be honest. But to be fair, I guess it depends who is, well, the supposed offensive. The most likely country that we know, a bunch of liars, and that's already tried something but is getting their ass whooped. They would be the most likely, but I mean, I think we can safely say that if anything, those guys would be wiped out easily. Unfortunately, I mean, the other thing that kind of destroys at least Europe is coming on boats, right? As we know. Anyway, Alice ignores my words and continues to inspect the surroundings of her own. But yeah, this was what might destroy the planet, basically. Those two things. Not just Europe, to be fair. Then she comes across the entrance. It's the same password. Alice inputs right at the same moment I dot her. We make our way to the surface. It's the same as last time. Alice is shocked at the scenery that she's looking at. I mean, dude, it's a nice scenery for, to be honest. I mean, don't tell me this doesn't look good, because this does look good. What do I have to do to make Alice believe me? I've been thinking about this the whole time we were in the bunker. So, like, 3 minutes. But it seems that I found the answer. I approach her and softly hug Alice. Please believe me. I know it's hard, but I don't have any intention of harming you. At first Alice reacts strongly by pushing me away, but I won't give up. Then she starts to cry. Her cold body shakes up. What Alice needs is not fact, but love. It takes time, but now I finally understand my flaws. As a loner, I only cared about myself and achieving results. I forgot the most important thing. Feelings. Feelings! There's someone we have to meet. First let's meet up with her and then we can discuss what comes next. Alice reluctantly agrees. I try to wipe away the tears on her face with my handkerchief. Do you remember the handkerchief, Alice? It looks familiar. You gave me this when I was bullied in the kindergarten. Back then we could never get along with the rest of the class. It was a long time ago, so I don't expect you to It was a long time ago, so I don't expect you to remember it. No, I remember it. It was my favorite handkerchief. I have a fond memory of spending time with that girl. I just can't remember anything related to her clearly. I always wanted to meet her again. It was really sad. I had to move away at the end of the year. I do not know which of the two is saying that. This is the consequence of messing with time. I'm surprised Alice could still remember some of it. Oh, so it was Alice saying that. Got it. It seems that her strong feelings have helped her to overcome this. I'm sorry, Alice. What's with the sudden apology? If anything, it's me who should say sorry to Ice, huh? Ice is your name, isn't it? Looks like I don't need to worry about the side effects of time travel. This has made my desire to protecting Alice even stronger. For some reason, I hold Alice's hand while we walk. I hope Siren will still be there. We walk for a long distance, but Alice hasn't asked me about anything yet. Walking this long drains much of our energy. Here we are. We finally arrive. I enter the house while Alice follows. Siren, Siren, are you here? I try to shout as loud as I could. Alice catches her breath by sitting on the sofa. Why am I calling out to Siren? I'm a little scared. I fear that my memory isn't right and that Siren has failed to make the time leap. I can hear you, G. You and your loud mouth, eyes. Siren! I couldn't be more overjoyed. I quickly introduce Alice to Siren, Siren to Alice. Siren title Alice about everything that has happened up till now. Alice looks confused, but we know that she's catching up with the facts. So I have died many times in other timelines, hearing the two of you say this is really weird. I won't let you leave me again, Alice. I suddenly stand up. Okay, Prince. Okay, Prince, calm down. What's important is that now you are with us, Alice. We have a long discussion on different random topics, but most are questions rather than satisfying answers. Have a strange sense of deja vu. Has all of this happened before? We talk, laugh, and become aggressive. Why? It seems that all this has happened in the past. Alice is getting along with Siren, whom she just met. The two talk as if they have known each other for a long time. We exchange words and have just realized that it is already nighttime. Alice helps us in preparing the dinner. It's not delicious, but we are all happy. Kind of. Then we decide to rest for the day. Alice chooses a room near me. Tomorrow will be a long day ahead. I guess what comes will eventually come. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Never before have I felt this sense of accomplishment. As I begin to close my eyes, the door suddenly cracks open. Can I come in? You can't sleep either, Alice. I'll slowly approach my bed. I remember we used to sleep next to each other like this. Like this. Yay! I firmly hold Alice's cold, small hand. Alice told me about what's on her mind at the time. About her relationships, family, and her opinions on many different things. Alice's soothing voice reassures me. It makes all my concerns go away in an instant. Hey, Alice? Alice suddenly lowers her voice. She tries to lean more on me. One of the things about Alice that made me fall in love with her in the first place is her scent, always on my mind. Flowery aromas. Yeah. I would say fruity aromas are better. Fragrances and perfumes. I couldn't find a single word to describe it perfectly. Her silky hair slowly reaches my ear. The poking creates a sensation all over my body. Alice placed her soft hand firmly on my chest. At this moment in time, all my thoughts leave me instantly. Honestly, to check out the heartbeat, what were you guys and not guys thinking? Come on. If, hypothetically speaking, I were about to leave on a journey, would you come find me? I was caught off guard by the question. I didn't expect this coming from Alice. As much as I want to reply right away that, of course, I'd find her even if it's at the end of the world, I stop for a moment. I still wonder why Alice would ask me such things. Is this one of her jokes, or is it meant to be taken seriously? Either way, it's hard to come up with the right answer, so as I don't want to upset her. Alice's eyes are fixated on me. Even if my eyes are closed, I can still sense the intensity of her gaze. This makes me reminisce about the time when we were still kids, Alice always taking a keen interest in my affairs. She'd always try to step in and ask what I was doing at the time. At first it was annoying, but as time went on, I could never imagine if Alice wasn't there. The fact that Alice is right next to me was like a fleeting dream. There is nothing good about me. I'm not even in a relationship. My face is messed up. No, it's not. What are you talking about? It's not. It's not. Oh, just answer my question, Alice. Alice moves her body even closer. Even now, there is no distance between us. I won't let you leave in the first place. I can't imagine a life without you. My heart beats fast. I feel as if my whole face is burning up. Romance was never my cup of tea. I don't even understand how love and relationships work, and I don't bother trying. There is no logic in it, no theory to rely on, and there exist many unknown factors. Yet people still chase after it blindly. Some succeed in finding their own happiness, while others mess up their whole lives because of it. So true. I'm one of those fools. I'm willing to go any distance for Alice. Yeah, I mean, if you find that person, yeah. I know that even if the whole world turns their backs on me, Alice is the only one who will support me. This may sound weird to you guys, but I've had this feeling that since I woke up there's something I must do. I'll help you once you remember, Alice. I turn my face and make direct eye contact with Alice while replying. Of course, Sil, you've always been there to help me, Alice. I couldn't clearly hear Alice's words. What is it, Alice? Alice closed her eyes and sighed heavily. I know it sounds cliché, but I want this moment to last forever, Alice. There is no longer any distance between Alice and me. Hearing that from Alice makes all my efforts worth it, but even if she hadn't said anything, I would still do what it takes. Alice must also have noticed this, as her tone seemed heavy, as if it was to reprimand all my actions. All the things I did back then were dangerous, I admit it. My life and consciousness would fade away in an instant. I never would have imagined I'd succeed in the first place. It was all for my selfish reasons. And now I have achieved that selfish dream. Alice, it hurts! After my body, I make eye contact with Alice. Alice still used the shampoo she used many years ago. The feeling of her soft hair vibrant in my hand. Next time, tell me what you plan to do. I've always been fascinated with Alice's eyes. It must be because back then, I didn't see many foreigners' eyes. What do you mean by that? It doesn't take a genius to appreciate the beauty behind them, as if I'm looking at the end of the horizon. When I'm with Alice, there is this urge in me to keep on teasing her. Alice, you could be more gentle. Alice, you could be more gentle, you know. Probably I'll have to save this for later. Right now my body still ages all over. Good night, Alice. Huh? We still have many things to do tomorrow. It's best we finish preparing by then. Alice sounds disappointed, but what is she expecting anyway? I mean, we are the kids and I still feel shy about that. I wait for a bit, but it seems like Alice has dozed off. It's just that I want to make sure that she rests well. Not an excuse to look at her sleeping face, okay? Speaking of which, everything has been weird up until now. It's hard to believe. All of the things I've been through sound as if they are from a video game. No, this is totally reality. What are you talking about? If this was by any means a game, then I must say that whoever made this is messed up. Alright, not my words, it's her words. What I see is real, I guess. As I stretch out my left arm holding Alice, my eyes slowly start to give up. Why is that bed so loud? My body still feels rigid. I could sleep more, but the matter at hand is more important. A letter appears next to me? By the time you read this letter, I will have already left this place. Huh? I won't tell you the details about this whole incident, but I believe you and Siren can solve it. All I can tell you is that the one who is responsible for all of this is me, and this place is my house. Huh? Do not worry, I won't try to commit suicide, and there is no longer a need for that. It's you who has given me hope, Ice. Thank you. I want to leave because I don't want to cause any more trouble for you, Ice, and there are still things left for me to do. We'll meet again. Until then, you must try to survive. Do not die on me, Ice. I won't allow you. There are some resources in the house. They may prove useful to you in the time of need. I mean, she also has resources in the bunker, but I reread the letter many times until I lose count. I discussed with Sari the contents of the letter. We searched and looked everywhere but could not find any traces of Alice. Even though sorrow still lurks in my heart, I don't have any sense of despair. It must be because I believe in Alice. She's not the kind of person who would leave me hanging for no good reason. Yeah, I mean... In the meantime, just like Alice said, I have to make the most out of my life here. Saren also agrees, then we come up with a detailed plan on how to live our life here. First, Saren and I managed to grow some crops by using the materials and tools from my bunker and Alice's house. Yeah... For also, I mean... I would check if the ground is not radioactive for that. The canned goods in my bunker help us get through half of the month. You'll say everything is hard, but we try our best. We try to delegate the task between us. Sirens volunteers work on technical stuff, electricity, and fixing devices around the house. This work isn't for me, as I'm too lazy for that kind of thing. Maybe because Siren has noticed since Alice left, I'm in no mood to do anything. There are times when I suggest to Siren that we look for Alice, but she shoots me down immediately. Siren's logic was sound. The world I know no longer exists. Only God knows, if he exists, what will happen if I were to go too far from the house. I think of sneaking out a few times too, but Siren is always around the house. Plus I think Alice knows how to take care of herself. I hope. What I should focus on instead is trying to make the most out of my life here. That goes without saying that it's hard to do, both physically and mentally. I feel as if there is nothing left for me to achieve here. Survival matters most, but sometimes I ask myself, what do I live for? Before this incident, I always made sure and knew what to do, as there were goals and rewards. Oh yeah, you don't have that now. Sometimes I think it's futile to continue like this. Sarah must also have the same feelings as I did with this lifestyle. Although she doesn't say it, judging from the look on her face, Siren seems to be more worn out than me. I don't want to cause her any more trouble. On top of that, I consider myself a bad conversationalist. So I try to focus on what I've been working on at the moment. For half of the month, we haven't talked a lot. Even if I say it works, it's not that big of a deal. My assigned role is a scavenger. I try to pick up stuff that I think is useful. Okay, nice. That's what I'd be doing. Probably. It is also my responsibility to prepare meals for both us since Siren can't cook at all. Oh, I ought also do that, yeah. Well, she can, but that's another story, and that's a story I don't want to remember ever again. I must say that I was quite amazed at Siren. She's turned out to be quite knowledgeable. What do you mean? I mean, isn't she a scientist? Even as a former scientist. Okay. I've learned many things from working with Siren in the past few days. It's all thanks to her that we managed to get the electricity running in the house. Yeah? Siren's understanding of how direct and alternative current works fascinates me. In layman's terms, Siren has created a utility to channel the already available current. Give it a touch and voila! Everything is up and running. It's weird as I wonder why the hell there is still electricity available. Yeah? But again, this whole situation is already weird to begin with, if you ask me. Yeah, I wonder why. Why is there... what? Maybe that house has its own... generator of sorts? Are we solar? Are we using solar panels there? I don't remember there being solar panels on that house. Who knows? But again, this whole situation is already weird to begin with, if you ask me. I try to confront Siren with this question, but I wholeheartedly regret it. Siren just goes on and on about what electricity is and how she can manage to manipulate it. Even if I consider myself a scientist, I'm not too fluent in this subject in particular. I just help out Siren when needed. The whole conversation goes on for the rest of that night, as I demand that Siren stop, but she just insists on explaining to me in detail. Remind me next time not to push that button again. What matters to me is that now we can enjoy turning on the light at night and recharging the phone battery. Yeah, because phones are so needed as well right now. Another neat thing is that we can now turn on the PC in the house. Yeah, there are not many files in it. We may use it to type things that we think might be useful later on. Better than nothing, I guess. What's also concerning, Windows is still dropping updates, which constantly break the system. That's very concerning, you know. Windows, they say Windows, Microsoft. Living with Siren in 2 weeks has made me realize many things about her. First, she's talkative. Siren loves her voice. I think it must be because back then she had to frequently hold conferences. Second, she always treats me like I'm a lot younger than her, which is not true as I'm sure that Siren is about my age. Last but not least, Siren seems to dislike Alice. Anytime I brought Alice up, she just ignores me or says that it was not important. Indeed, I don't hate Siren. I'm grateful that she's been here with me. Or else, who knows what would have happened if Siren didn't stop me when I insisted on looking for Alice. That reminds me, Siren and I haven't talked in a long time. I'm curious to learn about her discovery. I make haste downstairs. Siren is taking a break after watering the crops in the garden. It's nice that the bench is the only thing that's still standing when we first got here. I usually use it to unwind or read a book. Nothing beats the atmosphere here. Let's discuss our findings so far tonight. Sounds great! Sir replies and hands me something. What is it? It looks like a tomato, but the size suggests it is a cherry. Sir gives me a small red fruit. There are some leaves at the head of it. It's the result of your findings. If this keeps up, we can add tomatoes into the menu. I knew it. Beggars can be choosers. I guess even in this situation, fruit is helpful. I've been gathering things like these tomatoes in the nearby forest. I don't think I've ever seen tomatoes in the forest. Alice and I didn't notice it in the first time we got here, but there is a forest near the house. Oh. That forest always gave me bad vibes, so I just scratched the surface of it. When I bring some fruit back, Siren jumps out of joy. She immediately takes the fruit to the kitchen and extracts the seeds. I watch as Siren does her thing and realize that not only is she an ace with electricity, she's an expert on agriculture. But she can't cook. Right. That's kinda surprising. But as I was losing my sense of achievement, Siren lightly taps my shoulder and heads to the house. That's it for today. Alright, we're going to hold the girl talk all night, guys. Okay? I think she misunderstands my reason for wanting a discussion. Anyway, I should finish things up as it's getting dark. I make my routine trip to a bunker. Doing this for more than a week has bored the heck out of me. If I had enough material, I could come up with a transfer robot or something. That line of thought always persists in my head whenever I'm on my way to the house. I mean, on the other hand, at least you have a little bit sort of a workout that way, at least. Although the backup electricity that I set up can function the whole bunker, I can only turn the light on in the one room at a time. Last time I tried turning everything on and it scared the hell out of me. There is not much to do around my bunker really, as most of the devices are unusable. I just come here to pick up the canned food that I had prepared before, and before I leave, I stay in my library for a bit. I don't consider myself an avid reader. Most of the books here are for my research, things that you can't come across on the internet, capital letter. I should have bought some more books before this incident, now that I think about it. I know how Siren uses her free time. Most of the time I see her in her room or just walking around the garden. When I ask, she just tells me that she's been working on some of her experiments. I wonder how she doesn't get bored from doing the same thing. For me, I use books to pass time, but this has been getting boring really lately. Siren and I are going to have a discussion, so it's better to be back early. Discussion about what? As I step through the door, Siren is already sitting there on the sofa waiting for me. Mind lending me some books to read sometime, Ice? I'll read whatever you can recommend. Siren smiles and glances at me. Sure. By the way, what's your genre preference, Siren? Romance, perhaps? This is unexpected. I anticipated that Siren's answer would be anything related to science. Nothing can beat a love story, right? It makes your heart all warm and the brain goes haywire. Too bad that there is nothing like that in my possession. Oh, but I'm not surprised since it's your library, Ice. I found that insulting on a personal level, okay? I have romance novels, but they're girls love novels. Then what's the problem? I have an image to maintain, so I'll keep it a secret from Siren for now. What image? You know, Ice, sometimes it's good to be more open. You must have missed many romantic opportunities. Oh, whatever, shut it. Seriously, is it even that big of a deal? Siren sounds like my mom or something. She sounds like something who's interested in you, if anything. As Siren giggles from exposing my weakness, I put all the canned food and books on the table and then calmly sit on the sofa. I don't comprehend what's so funny about all of this. Before we talk, would you mind finishing us dinner, Ice? I'm getting hungry from all this work. I'll just try to sit down, thanks, but I also feel somewhat hungry. Alright, just wait a few minutes. I make my way to the kitchen, thinking about what I should make today. I'm not a good chef, and we don't have recipes to rely on. Oh boy. As materials are scarce, usually I just combine what we have and make it edible. Yeah? That's the way to do it. I do it the same way. Let's see, what do we have here. I'll take this. Let's go. Let's go for something simple today. I crack open the can and put it onto the plate along with some vegetables from the garden. I mean, that's not really much of a cooking. Whenever I prepare the food, Alice is always on my mind. She's a good cook. No matter the ingredients, everything would turn out fine. Cooking was one of Alice's hobbies when we were kids. She would usually feed me with her latest creations. It was bad now, but I remember it, but as Alice kept on asking how the food was with an unbit smile, I couldn't make her feel sad. She said that her parents were busy even though Alice had a housemate. So it was up to her to make her snacks whenever she felt hungry. Nice. That was quick. You could have taken more time, you know? I put the plate on the table, to Siren's surprise. I don't want to be in there for the whole day. Besides, I'm the kind of person that doesn't take joy in eating. You don't? At least in this situation. That's what I told myself. Keep on consuming this crap. Oh, spend more time cooking, Ice. Put more love to it. Siren says while chewing. Oi, don't talk while you eat. That's common sense. Don't come crying to me when you choke. Why do you always care about such trivial details, Ice? You would be cuter if you complained less. For some reason, Alice and Siren always enjoy getting on my nerves. Sun is also super optimistic. Or maybe my face looks funny to her. She always has that smirk whenever we are together. Have you adjusted to living here yet, Ice? I hope Siren's joking because this is not funny. First, I want to figure out what the hell happened in the first place. Second, I want to find Alice. Siren's face darkens all of a sudden. Now that we have agreed not to discuss about Alice again, Ice. She's not a child, Ice. It's stupid to be concerned about her. I've left us without saying anything. She must have a good reason. All we can do now is believe in her, Ice. That's the only time that Siren has sounded serious. Her reason was sound. There's no point making any more arguments. As Siren and I enjoy our meal, we begin discussing our findings. So first things first, we have restored the electricity for the house. She takes the lead. I've been playing with the computer around the house, nothing useful really. Well, the best thing is we can now recharge our phones. The PC is the only thing that I can think of when the topic of usefulness is brought up. But it's lacking one critical thing. The internet! Yes, the internet. The only reason most people in this century use their technological devices. Yeah? It sucks that I can no longer use it. No, it's worse, not that I consider it. Never have I imagined my life without being online for at least a day, Ice, yet I've survived for half a month. I don't think most of the database still exists. If there is anything, it will be damaged and rendered unfixable. Sarah makes direct eye contact with me. Sometimes I wonder if she can read minds or something. That's the only thing we agreed on, Siren, but you know what? Thanks to this instead, I've learned that we depend on those inventions too much. Without it, I can keep my sanity just fine, or I prefer to have something to do in the long run. I changed the subject.
What's up with the weather anyway? It's the same every day. Sunny during day, heavy rain at night. Maybe this whole is that affects more things than we can imagine. Not only has it damaged most of the buildings and structures, it also drastically changed the weather and climate. The rain, as we see, may prove harmful to us, so be extra cautious, Ice.
I choke.
Who said I would choke in the first place? Easy, easy there.
Siren lightly taps my back. It can't be helped since I was surprised as well.
Siren, just calm down with what I'm about to say, okay? This is like you at all, Ice. Just blurt out. We've been drinking that rainwater the whole time.
Siren opens her mouth in surprise.
I made sure to filter the bad substance out, so don't worry. Haha, haha.
It's funny how I just realized I'm in deep shit right now, but trying to be okay.
In my defense, I could not find reliable water sources. It's better than dying out of thirst.
Or I'm too lazy to look for them. Collecting rainwater is the easiest way. Siren must understand that we could not always rely on bottled water, or there would be a shortage. Much to my surprise, Siren quickly looks away without scolding me or commenting.
What's done is done. Better hope that nothing happens with our health. After finishing her sentence, Siren pulls out something from her pocket.
Lately, Siren has been obsessed with a small pocket watch. She always plays with it.
That's the one I found from my bunker, right? What's so special about it?
I asked Siren out of curiosity. That broken pocket watch has been in my house for a long time. I brought it here on one of my daily trips last week. Ever since then, Siren has been trying to make it work.
You'll understand eventually. Maybe someday I'll tell you.
Okay. Siren lowers her voice. Seriously, why is she so obsessed with it? And I replied so seriously to my question. Well, I guess each person has their hobbies. Better respect that norm. Before we settled here, Siren and I established a rule. We have a strict curfew. No leaving the house after 9 PM. And when you come home, notify the other person. This rule is meant to keep us safe, and in case something happens, we can resolve it easily. The thing that Siren and I have the most problem with is how we decide on the time. Most of the watches were in a broken state when the three of us woke up. The time display on the phone is not reliable. I inquired Siren about this, but earned myself a free lecture. She explained to me that time is a property of the universe. We only invented seconds or days as a means to measure things. I didn't really knew all of that, but Siren kept on nagging me until she was satisfied. Then both of us agreed to create our clock to make things simpler. When Siren and I wake up, it's 7. I'm kind of surprised to know that Siren wakes up at almost the same time as me in the morning. We set the time on our phones, then they still function properly, so. To begin with, we were lucky that there are many cables to charge the phones lying around the house. That's not really surprising. This house is strange. Most of the stuff is hard to come across and it's not usually seen being used by a typical person. What do you mean? It must be because I had never visited anyone's house before. All of this was new to me. As we finished our dinner, I asked Siren to stay a little bit longer. Ever since I met her, I don't know much about her background. I've just thought that she's been involved in my mess.
Hey, Siren, who were you before this incident?
I cannot think of any better way to phrase that question. To me, Siren is nothing out of the ordinary. I was so concerned about Alice to the point that I didn't care about Siren. She claims to be my colleague, but I have no recollection. This could be a lie, or that the effect of the time leap made me forget this detail.
As I said, I studied at the same college as you and Alice. Although we didn't hang out much, we were in the same club.
I give Siren a stern look, indicate that I want to know more. It's the only question I can think of. May as well ask anything on my mind.
So what was your childhood like? Whoops, that was a stupid question. Why the hell would I ask that? Let's see, how... You're so talkative. Fine, I'll tell you if you are into it that much.
She wanted to answer. How kind of you, not to make fun of my speaking skills, Siren.
I grew up in an orphanage. All I can remember is a white room and ceiling and frequent medical checkups. There were also many kids with me. We got along well, but that didn't last long. As soon as my new family adopted me, I never visited it again.
How should I react to this? It sounds heavy yet cliché, like some plot from a movie.
You don't have to feel sorry, Ice. My new family was nice to me. I was happy the whole time. They had a daughter. We got along really well.
Sana smirked, shaking her head in my direction. For some reason, I feel irritated by that smile of hers. Isn't this a little personal? Also, I feel sorry for having my son talk about things that could make her feel uncomfortable. Me and my bad mouth.
I'm sorry. For what? Don't ruin the mood, Ice. I'm not angry, as I know there are things that you aren't good at.
I laugh at Sanen's reply to hide my embarrassment. She looks at about my age, but her mentality says different. Talking with her makes me feel like she's much older. We continue our talk. I ask Saren many things, and it's interesting to learn more about her than I thought. Her sister died at a young age from an incurable disease, but her family anticipated that. The reason they adopted Saren in the first place was to please their daughter. No, whether or not this was a good idea, but maybe her parents want to fill the gap left behind by their daughter.
What is the status of the time machine?
I think it's still functional, but best we leave it be. It's weird that Saren asked me that out of the blue, but I think she's just worried about it. After all, the machine is our last option. Then, as I finish washing the plates in the sink, Saren raises her voice.
Ice! I forgot to tell you that we received a letter from an unknown sender, classic move, right? What? It's just a letter, not a big deal, Siren. Hey, stop! Did you just say the letter? Yeah? Yeah, sorry, but I forgot to mention it. I think we should read it together. Of course, like, why can you not remember something so important, Siren?
I rushed out of the kitchen without removing my apron.
It's just washing dishes. I don't get why you have to wear an apron, Ice. All habits die hard, okay? It's hard for me to remember trivial things such as wearing an apron for cooking. So I'm going to wear an apron every time I step in the kitchen. I learned that the hard way from not wearing one beforehand. Anyway, that's not important. Hurry, show me the letter.
My heart beats fast, sensations running all over my body. This must be from Anis. If not, then who else would it be? Who would deliver it as well? What the heck? The moment I open the letter, all my expectations fly out of the window.
We are the survivors. Please meet us at our new settlement by tomorrow. We can get here by passing through the forest.
The plot thickens, or should I call this a plot twist?
What the hell did I just read? This is great, Ice. There are survivors out there. I can't believe it.
Siren jumps in joy while I'm confused as hell. Should we believe in that for? I mean, I don't know, man. Sounds sketchy.
This is not good. Hear me out, Siren.
I start to brainstorm millions of scenarios.
First, how they know we are living here. I don't recall seeing anyone or anything pass by this house. They must have seen us with binoculars, or because we have been a little loud these past few days.
Siren quickly replies to my question.
Second, how and why did they send us a letter? Couldn't they just tell us directly? I saw this letter while I was watering the plants outside the garden this morning. But they're a shy bunch, like you, Ice. Stop kidding around, Siren. This is serious.
I feel angry and regret directing it at Siren by slamming my fists on the table. It's because of Siren's childish behavior, because it wasn't from Alice. Either reason irritates me. Still, there are some more questions.
Last but not least, what is the real motive?
Siren is struck silent by my question.
You get worked up over every little thing, guys. Calm down. I'm more tense than you think, but being angry doesn't solve anything.
It's Siren's mother's time again. I feel embarrassing all that, but I hate that she's right. I mean, I understand why you would sort of feel, maybe not bad, but worried?
If you knew how to cook, you'd be a good mother, Siren. I have the right to be anyone's parent, Ice. Back to the matter at hand, I still think this is suspicious and dangerous. I shall go with this. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I expected you would say that.
Siren was right. Even though it's safer to keep living here, there is no guarantee how long this will last. But under one condition, we must formulate a plan.
I think either you or I should go while the other stays. It's the best option, Siren.
I start to explain my reasoning.
We may know nothing, but one thing is for sure. They aren't forthcoming in welcoming us. So if something funny happens, the one who stays can come as backup. I expect one thing, guys. There is no way for the one who goes to compete in case something happens.
Oh yeah, we don't have any device for that. How could I forget something so basic?
It takes two to tango. The best plan is to prepare for the worst by packing things up. We are in this together, Ice. Either we survive or perish together. There is no best solution. I know I won't gain your trust easily, Ice, but if we keep planning like this, it will lead to a prisoner dilemma. I don't want to say it, but I think you must understand, Ice. I don't want to repeat what happened with Alice. Alright, I hear you. Fine, then tomorrow we'll go together, fine.
Hesitation still lurks in my voice. I still think this is not a good idea. Something tells me that I should stay here. I still feel attached to this place. Nevertheless, I pressed on to unravel the mystery of this incident and to locate Alice. We discussed a little bit more about what to prepare for tomorrow. Then we decided it's time to head to bed. As we have a trip tomorrow, it's better to rest early. And that's what we will do as well. As I lie on my bed, I start to think about these past few weeks. It's hard to believe that much time has passed. Usually before I go to sleep, I have this habit of reading books. And by no means it was my favorite genre. Girls love story! Why you ask? I expect the rewards for surviving yet another day. Today was an exception, even if I have a big trip tomorrow. Let's see what I will read today. Now I know that my library only has books that are not available on the internet. In reality, this is just camouflage. I use them to hide the good. Even if I know no one will see it, I still have this sense of self-awareness. This book looks good, although I cannot make out the cover. It's my cup of tea. The Lonely Princess. Before that, I have to make sure to charge my phone. There. I'm down for some wholesome girl romance. The princess knows that she will be executed. What a way to begin.
It's too late for her by the time she realizes as the coup d'etat happened too suddenly.
It seems like most of the pages have been torn. This is worse, man. It's my rule to read something from start to finish. Each one page is wishing I want to read it. But it looks like today's the day I break that rule. Considering the shortage of books I have, I might as well read it.
But lucky for her, one of the maids who was secretly in love with Alice comes to her rescue.
Alice? Talk about a coincidence.
Alice ups the maid's intentions, as she never treated her well, but there is no option left to her. The maid and Alice successfully escape, and the two decide to settle down in the maid's hometown. At first, Alice is depressed. She lost everything. Over time, the maid helps Alice to regain happiness. Alice doesn't want to see her maid suffer in poverty anymore, so she starts working. Alice remembers that woman from her kingdom made lots of money from brothels.
What?
She doesn't want to worry her maid, so she moonlights as a maid during the day and works in a nearby brothel at night.
That's a romance story? Are you kidding me? Alice attracts many wealthy aristocrats because of her noble aura and beauty. Alice hides all the money in the clay pot under the bed. She would buy luxury meals for her and the maid, saying they were leftovers. She wants to spend the money on renovating her house and buying new clothes for her maid, but doing that all of a sudden would make the maid suspicious. Then one day, Alice suddenly feels pain all over her body. Alice's disease was a mystery at the time. No cure can be found. The thing that hurts most for Alice is that the one who is responsible for this is her maid. Her maid reveals that and spends time insulting Alice while she was bedridden. The maid blames Alice for betraying her, for making her family suffer. Then as Alice reaches her limit, she kindly thanks her and points out the money to the maid. The maid becomes angry, refusing to use Alice's money on anything. In Alice's last moments, she can still hear the maid reprimand her, but she's happy and grateful. She gives the maid her best wishes from both her heart and becomes silent. Hey, wait, the story seems to end here, what?
This is so stupid. Who wrote this shit? It seems the beginning and the ending were torn off. Great, now I want to know the rest of the story. This romance book is strange. The relationship was weird to begin with. There seems to be no romance in it as far as I'm concerned. Heck, I don't read books for this. Anyway, it's getting late. The rain outside is getting heavier. I closed the book and put it under the bed to hide it. I cannot afford to have Siren see me reading this. Reading this makes me miss Alice. I'm doing everything makes me feel like that. It seems that Alice is important in my life more than I thought. No matter what I do, I still feel nervous about tomorrow's trip. Many unknown possibilities await me there. What will happen if I die before meeting Alice again? I think I have to tell Sarah I will go tomorrow. She will laugh at me and see me as an idiot. Besides, Sarah said, staying here is not an ideal option. Millions of thoughts ran my head trying to figure out what's best. My eyes slowly start to close. And eventually they close. We'll find out what's the decision of our girl over here, Ice, in the next episode. Let's end right here, right now. And yes, we'll continue tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know, consider liking and subscribing, of course. If you're new around, of course. And with that being said, hope you have a wonderful day. And hopefully you'll join me tomorrow too. Bye bye.